Do you remember whenever you used to have to get in your car and drive to your local store like a Blockbuster or a movie gallery if you wanted to watch a movie or rent a DVD? Now, if you're a little bit younger, you may have completely missed that part of history, but that's what we used to have to do. There used to be stores popped up all over every little town across America, and I'm sure other places around the globe, where you would have to go rent movies. And you know, I guess that's been a long time. All these stores have been out of my town for years. I can't remember the last time they were there, which makes me feel a little old. It's like, do you remember back in the day? Anyway, GameStop is worried that they're going to end up eventually like those stores of yesteryear. They're going to end up like Blockbuster, and if you've looked around, a lot of these places have all shut down. Nobody does it anymore because everybody gets their content digitally. You've got Netflix, or if you do get physical, then you probably go down to Redbox or something and rent your movies. But there's not many places you can actually go to anymore. And GameStop's concerned they might turn into that. And you know, this is the time of year where places like GameStop should be drowning in money. And trust me, they still are. They're still going to be bringing in tons of dough. But there's already red flags being thrown up. GameStop just posted up their earnings for the third quarter, and hardware sales are doing really good for both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. They both say they are moving a crap ton more than what their predecessors did. And hardware sales are up over 147%. But software sales are down. Now, GameStop tried to blame part of that on Assassin's Creed Unity being delayed. They said, you know, they were expecting that to be a big game. It got pushed back a little bit, and so it wasn't in their earnings report. But Wall Street was reporting or expecting that GameStop revenue was going to hit like $2.2 billion, but GameStop didn't hit that target. And it only came in at $2.9 billion, which is still a crap ton of money. But anytime you miss the target like that, anytime you miss what the investors are expecting you to hit, there's going to be backlash. And GameStop shares today have dropped over 13%, which is a lot. And here's the interesting thing. During an investor call, GameStop's president was actually kind of calling out Microsoft and Sony more than once. So one of the things that they were kind of bitching about is all the games that are being bundled with the hardware. Now, if you go and you buy a console this holiday season and you get a bundle that has a game in it, that's good for you, but it's not good for GameStop. So they claim that so far over $100 million worth of games have been delivered in console bundles already this year. So a lot of people are buying these up, and you see on advertisements everywhere, both Sony and Microsoft are really pushing bundles. Sony's got some with like GTA 5 and The Last of Us. Microsoft has a bunch going on. I saw one like in the UK where I think you could have like 5 digital games with like an Xbox One bundle, which is kind of crazy. But if you buy these bundles up, you get the bundle, you take it home, you unpackage it. It's not like there's actual physical games in there. They're all digital. And what does that mean for GameStop? Well, first off, this goes across the board for the whole gaming industry. GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, they don't make a whole lot of money on hardware sales. The profit margin is pretty low. And the same thing goes for Microsoft and Sony. They could sell a ton of consoles. They really don't make that much money off of each sale. What they make money off of is the software, the games, and of course the subscription services. And of course, if you're bundling these games in, these are AAA games that you're giving away, and if they're digital, what does that mean? That means you can't beat the game and a week later go back and have GameStop tell you, hey, I'll give you $9 for that game. And then they can turn around and sell it for $56 used. And GameStop, of course, makes a ton of their money off of that by giving you little next to nothing on your trade-ins most of the time, and then turning it around and selling it again and making a lot of profit. And so they're concerned because all these games are given away digitally. They're also concerned because recent stats have come out and shown that up to 25% of all game sales on the next-gen consoles are now digital. People are going more and more to the in-game stores like for PlayStation and for Xbox, and they're buying the games digitally. And all of these games that once they're downloaded, there's no other copy to be given away. There's no other copy to be traded in. And you're also seeing, of course, games occasionally being released on Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus that you could also buy in the store for a store like Gamestop. So every time whenever they give away a game that's actually a game that you could go to the store and buy, those are more sales that are taken away. And then you mix on top of that these digital games, you've also got a lot more people competing with you now than what used to be in the field. Now you've got Walmart going out there and doing trade-ins, and of course you've got Best Buy, and then some people go to Amazon for their games. So you've got a lot of different options, and GameStop is starting to become less and less that one main go-to source that you've used to have to go to in the past. During the conference call, the GameStop president said, quote, "We want to help ensure that our industry does not make the same mistake as other entertainment categories go by driving the perceived value of digital goods significantly below that of a physical game." GameStop doesn't want you to get a good deal. They don't want digital sales to be cheaper than a physical disc. And they want the price of games to stay high. That keeps their profit margins high. And they're worried. And they're worried that they're going to become irrelevant. And they're going to be like Blockbuster and all these dinosaur stores that you used to have to visit in the past. Now, they are trying to expand. They're trying new things. Last time I was in GameStop, hell, they tried to sell me a tablet. I'm like, what is this? Where did I come in? Am I in GameStop? They're also trying to sell like more digital content. But I got to be honest with you. I don't miss driving to Blockbuster or to Movie Gallery to rent a movie. I like being able to stream it like Netflix or being able to rent one from my console. Right now, I don't think digital prices are where I would flip over to digital. I've only purchased one game digitally, and I will only buy games digitally if I know it's a game that I'm never going to get rid of and have no intentions of ever selling. So the first game I've ever purchased was Halo the Master Chief Collection. And I can think of very few games that I will do that for, because most of the games I'm going in thinking, eventually I could part with this and I'll be okay. I'm not going to shed any tears. Now, I don't think the prices are there just yet, because whenever I compare digital and physical, look, it just makes a lot more sense to me, because you've got one that still has value. You're buying the same game, but one still has value. But that's not to say that other people aren't doing it, and as I said, up to 25% of sales now are all digital. And so there is a problem for GameStop going into the future, and it's only going to get worse from here. But if Microsoft and Sony can eventually bring down the prices of digital even further, like to match that of PC, those prices aren't here yet on the console, but they might be one day. And that's really going to put a lot of pressure on GameStop. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. You want to read more about it, links down in the description box. Would you shed a tear if your GameStop closed up? I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.